Hello everyone. Today I will be presenting about political caricatures of the American era. Focusing officially on the editorial cartoon is The Police First Breeded, published in Independent on June 9, 1917. This analysis is based on the work of Alfred McCoy and Adalgardo Roses. During the American colonial period in the Philippines, political cartoons became a powerful medium for expressing criticism, satire, and commentary. They often tackled corruption, colonial policies, and the social issue. McCoy and Roses compiled many of these cartoons to show how visual satire reflected both political struggles and the social prejudice of the time. In 1917, a mysterious informant named Pedro Chua accused Manila police officers of accepting bribes from Chinese gambling houses in Binondo and Quiapo. The letter was published in the Philippine Free Press and triggered a major scandal that eventually led to the tragic suicide of a police chief. Although the Free Press later withdrew his allegation, Vicente Soto newspaper The Independent stood firm and published an editorial cartoon to insist that the charge were true. That cartoon is the one we are analyzing, is the police force bride. The cartoon visual raises the question, are the police protecting the people or are they serving gambling interests? It showed the Manila police depicted a compromise catch between their duty to uphold the law and their involvement in the corruption. The policeman in the cartoons is a drawn with ordinary features, making him look like any other Filipino. This suggests that corruption was not one bad officer, but part of situation. Meanwhile, the Chinese gamblers are caricatured as Augustos, almost rat-like figures. This reflects the cartoonized racial bias, portraying Chinese as the corruptors of society. The cartoon deals with two major themes. First, corruption in the law enforcement, the police taking bribes instead of protecting the public. Second, prejudice, the Chinese community is depicted as the source of corruption, which reflects the racial stereotypes of the era. This cartoon is important because it shows how the media acted as the watchdog during the American colonial period. Editorial cartoons like expose abuse of the power in a way that ordinary articles sometimes could not. But at the same time, it also shows how media could reinforce harmful racial stereotypes, shaping public perception of minorities unfairly. Looking back, is the police force wide tells us the two. One, that the first of political cartoons were right in exposing scandals, and two, that they were not free from bias and often reflect prejudice of society at the same time. This dual role, both as a voice of truth as a mirror of prejudice, makes political cartoons viable but complicated parts of our history. In inclusion, the cartoon is the police force breeded is more than just satire. It's a window in the Philippine society under the American rule, showing corruption, media power, and racial attitudes. By studying it, we understand not only the history of the Philippine police scandal, but also how political caricatures shape public opinion in the early 20th century.